Okay, so hello everyone, how are you? Again, I'm Seiki, and today I'm here with a different video. Last time I showed you some of the features, let's say, that you could unlock once you reach level 45, and bringing you some more new info in order for you to prepare level 45. But this time I have something different. I'm doing this as a request from, let me check, Style Larten. He commented, make a video showing your team, combos and stuff. It's good to know there are YouTubers who aren't using the meta. And by meta, I suppose you mean who aren't running Bankai Ichigo, Urahara, and Byakuya, which I do think is the best combination or team you could be running right now. So I thought about it and I decided, why not? So the first thing is I want to show you my Yoruichi and my team. So Yoruichi, as you can see, is quite strong. My character, I mean, I am the rank 1 in server 10. And she is at 3 out of 6 in boundary, 4 out of 6 in weapon stamp. And I have all of these at level 5. I mean, this one at level 6, but this one still, unfortunately, the core stamp only at 1. Now, what can I tell you about this? What I can tell you about this is, do not try to look at this number and be frustrated if you are far away from this. Like I said many times, I'm not trying to hide this. I paid for this game. I paid a decent amount of money. Let me show you just in case, so you get an idea. But I did pay here. I bought, you can see this, I bought this one still no. Let me just find this, and the battle pass, which I'm still farming, and the subscription, of course. So again, don't get frustrated if your Yoruichi maybe it's not at 40k. You should not worry about that, okay? Because you can still get her to a very good level without spending money. I mean, I would be willing to wager this player is a free-to-play, and it's at 29k, almost 30, and that's a perfectly good build. So, first of all, I want to go over what I have. Let me just 1 second. So we go to characters, and here I want to show you my stamps, which many of you might be confused about. So how do you get these stamps? Again, you can click on this to see what you can equip for each. But how do you get them? Very simple. You have something that's called Realm of Mutation, which you can farm to get this. You can also do the stamp corridor, but it is a lot more RNG. But this is basically, you go, maybe you want something for Byakuya, you go here, for Komamura here, Urahara, Yoruichi, Ichigo, and Renji, you go here, and you have these rewards if you complete this quest, which is a very easy one. Now, you might not be at this, because you can see there are level 1, level 2, and level 3. Maybe you are a new player, you're level 20 or something, maybe you are here. So you only get 3 stars as rewards. But they are still very useful to have, so I do recommend you do it. You basically complete the quest and you get maybe any of these or any of these, and you repeat to get the ones you're missing, and that should be enough. Once you get here, you'll unlock, of course, here 4 stars, here 5 stars, and here I still don't know. I will bring you the information in a day, maybe when I am 55. Now, be careful, because not every stamp is the same. What do I mean by that? If you look at this, I have quite a few of these. And stamps have basic stats and advanced stats, which are, let's say, random when you get a stamp. So maybe I get this stamp, and this stamp might be very different from the one you have. Let me show you a comparison very quick. But here you can see the one I have equipped. It has attack here strike damage, here thrust damage, defense, attack, defense, crit, attack, crit damage. So they are basically different in everything, even though they are the same stamp. So when it comes to stamps, at some point there will be a lot of min maxing involved. So there will be a lot of spamming and farming those trials in order to get the perfect, let's say, stamp. But again, this is not something you should worry. Maybe if you have 3-star stamps or 4-star stamps, don't worry about finding the perfect one. I think that should be reserved only when you are like at 5-star stamps. Then you can start trying to farm for the perfect one. But how do you know what is it you need for your stamps? Well, for Yoruichi, I think as a DPS, what you're looking for are for many things, mainly. Crit damage, crit rate, so these two. Attack damage in percentage, so you have flat, I think percentage is better because it scales much better. And ultimate charge rate. Okay, those are the 4. And one as well, which is strike damage bonus. Because Yoruichi is a strike type character. And for example, in this stamp, I have Thirst damage bonus, completely useless. She's strike, not trust, so she doesn't benefit from this. So if I was trying to min-max, I would start farming and trying to get the perfect one. Okay, because I have useless stats here. So those are the ones you should be aiming towards, I think. Now, what team should you run and how do you know what team? Well, with Yoruichi, what I run is Komamura and Nemo. So Yoruichi, Komamura, and Nemo. Komamura is mostly, let's say, you're running him for this skill, which is all characters in the team have their strike damage increased by 30%, which is huge. And Nemo, you're running her as a way to buff yourself, because she has many buffs she can grant you, which I'll show you later how to trigger. But mainly, that's the team. But maybe you have a question, how do you know that's the team? You can of course think for yourself, just reading the skills, you can more or less be able to tell, okay, that makes sense. This is a good character to pair with this. You can think. But if you don't want to think, you can just click here. And here you have a recommended basic lineup and a recommended advanced lineup. So maybe as a new player, you don't have all of this. So maybe you have only Uryu. I think the story gives you Uryu. And Nemu, which maybe you get by luck. And this also shows you, by the way, the build you need. The build you could use, maybe a second pick if you don't have this, a second pick if you don't have this, and the stamps you want. So again, here you have all the good information as well as some character info if you need. So we have the team. What do we do? What I like to do is to immediately switch to Nemo. Okay, because you want to get as much as you can from these buffs immediately. Maybe you are doing a difficult boss, you need the buffs for as long as you can. So what you want to do, obviously, is to not waste time because you have a set amount of time. So with Nemo, what you're going to do is, I'm in my computer, so I'm using a controller, of course. I'm not very used to this. But you're going to do a full string of basic attacks. Okay, so let's look at this. And immediately when you do the full string, at some point, Nemo is gonna kick or shove Ikaku up. Okay, and then this skill will become highlighted and you can use it. Okay, so we are gonna use it and then we're gonna keep hitting. So hit until this becomes available, then hit again, then one hit and ult. That's what you're gonna do. Okay, so we hit. This becomes available, we hit again, hit once, immediately ult, and that's it. Nemo's job is done. She did her part. We have all of these buffs, as you can see. So you switch to Yoruichi. So we can try again. Nemo, we hit, up, one hit, change, then Yoruichi, and you can start hitting already if you want. But I'm gonna slow down because then that will return into a full combo. So what do I do with Yoruichi? What I do is very simple. I hit like I did for a full string, let's say, which looks like that. Once Yoruichi falls down, the string of basic attacks is over. So again, and then it ends. So we are going to do that, but when it ends, just before it ends, we're going to use this, okay, this skill. So hit, we fall, we use the skill, and then we hit again. That's all we did, okay? Now, you might notice something. We have two of these and one of this. What is this? When you have this, you can hold the basic attack button and you launch up in the air and fall down. It does a lot of damage. So the way we use this is when we finish doing the basic attack, then this, then attack again and fall down, you automatically have access to this. So you're gonna use it. Okay, so just for you to see, we hit, we use this, hit again, and immediately we fall down. Okay, and now as you can see, we have already access to our ultimate. So you can immediately, if you want, use your ultimate. And that's what they're going to do, okay? Use this. Use this. And we ult. Okay? Then you immediately, with Yoruichi, you have access to a counter. So you want to immediately use the counter. And after you ult and do this, you have two of these charges. So you do square and square. And then if you want, you can use triangle as well, because you have it again. So I'm going to show it to you again, because I know it can be confusing, but it's pretty easy. We hit. Do this. Hit again. When this ends, we hold square. Then immediately ult. We use circle, the counter. Hold square, and you hit again here, like this. And then when this is over, you'll have time to the technique. And you can do square again. Very simple. I know it looks tricky, but it's very simple, very natural. I think if you could repeat this again and again, you'll understand. Okay, so you might be wondering, that's very good, but what about this on Battlefield skill? When does it come in? So really you can do it immediately after you finish your initial, there's no fixed place for it, you can throw it as you feel. But for example, we do the initial basic attack string, so like this. And when this is about to end, you can throw it in. Then you continue your combo. And it becomes available again, you can use it. Again, we are doing all this very naturally. And we can do this again. We hit basic attacks. And then this ends. And then we switch Kumamura. Immediately ult. Oh, sorry about the lag, I don't know what's going on with the emulator. And very natural, all in one sequence. Okay? So eventually when you spend this, you can switch back to Yoruichi. And yeah, that's basically it. There's not much else going on. If you run out of buffs, you can return to Nemo, of course. Let's just go back to Yoruichi. Okay, so before I let you go, I want to show you the full thing one time so you get a vibe of how it looks. Okay, so from Nemo to Yoruichi to Kumamura. So with Nemo, we hit the basic attacks. Up in the air, we launch the skill. Hit again. Hit one more time to get the ult. We switch immediately to Yoruichi. And we hit already as he's in the air. We can use the Kumamura skill already. We keep our combo which we practiced earlier. We ult. We use the counter. Use this again. We fall twice. We hit again once this is over. Then we use the skill here. We fall again. And then, Komamura's skill. Use this. Hit once. Immediately ult. We hit once, twice. When you get to 10, you can do this. Then you ult. Sorry about the lag, I don't know what's up with the emulator. But that's the combo. That's about it for the video. I showed you the team, how to get the stamps, what stamps to use, how to check what teams and what stamps you should use, and my combos, what I do. Again, one thing I want to state before I let you go is with Yoruichi, whenever you can make a perfect dash or a counter, feel free to do so. Don't be so afraid to get away from a combo if an opportunity arises. If you can, maybe the boss is doing a special attack and I can counter, you do it, no problem. Maybe I can dodge, I can activate a skill from Yoruichi, you do it, no problem. Again, don't be afraid to diverge a bit. I just showed you what they basically do, and I think it's very useful to have, let's say, an idea in mind of how to start a fight. Okay, so that's it from me. Hopefully this was useful in any way. And yeah, see you maybe in a day or two. I'm thinking it might take me 2 days to get to 55 to show you the news, but I want to rush it, so I give you the news very quick. So thank you.